Tired of generic plugins that almost do what you want? In this video, I will help you unlock the real power of TYPO3, and I will help you create your own custom extensions which we will be using to extend TYPO3. In this tutorial, I will show you how to create an extension, how to install an extension, and how our extensions structure so that TYPO3 knows how to use them. Hi, my name is Yasin. I'm a software developer with over 7 years of experience developing TYPO3 websites. If you need any special help, you can reach out to me per direct message here on YouTube, or you can send me an email, or if you want, you can join my Discord server and have direct contact with me. Also, I will be hosting live streams there where you can ask me direct questions. So guys, let's get started. So I have my documentation here. Let's take a look what it says. So here it tells us that we can create the extension using a helper extension. So this is a CLI way to create an extension. So you can either create an extension manually where you create the folders manually, or you can use this CLI command from this B13 make extension to create your custom extensions. So yeah, I'm too lazy for the first way, guys, so I'm going to be installing this extension. Let's take this. Let's go to my command line. Okay, perfect. The extension is installed. We can directly get started. So it tells us to use this make extension command. So let's do something like this. Here in the documentation it shows us ways to run this command. So I'm using gdev at the moment, so I've chosen this tab. You can also, if you're using the server directly, you can simply run this. There is also the classic mode installation. This is the legacy installation, where it is also available. So let's take this. So let's go to my command line and run this command to start creating our extension. So first it asks us for the composer package name. This is simply your vendor name, because your extension will be installed with the other composer packages under the vendor directory. So this is important. I will call it like this. Let's say YouTube, for example. And then we need to give the extension key. So the extension key is important for TYPO3 to use internally to identify your extension, whether you're linking like resources or things like that. You always need this extension key that must be also defined. So let's say YouTube. So it suggests to us to give it YouTube. This is the PSR4 namespace. This is used to load our classes from the extension. So it also suggests to us this namespace. So it goes always with vendor name and then extension name. It's always best to follow this naming convention. So, and then it tells us to choose which TYPO3 version we're currently using. So I will go with 13, and then we can enter a little description of the extension. I will simply put let's say YouTube demonstration extension, for example. And then this is important, guys. It tells us where to store our extension. So by default, TYPO3 stores its extensions under the packages. So I will show you. Here is my project directories. So as you can see, I have another custom extension under the packages. So it is also let's say recommended from TYPO3 to use the packages directory. However, in the B13 extension maker, it is suggests to use this this path, but that's why we would simply go here and type packages. So then it asks maybe add the basic service configuration for you. This is for the dependency injections. This is simply a service .yaml file where we configure our services. I will go and say yes. It tells us if it should create an emconf.php for us. We are on a composer based project, so this is irrelevant to us, guys. We don't need this. So it also suggests us to say no. And boom, yeah, our extension is created, and it says that it might have to be activated manually, which we'll do later. So let's go here and take a look. So under packages, the maker extension has created a new folder called YouTube. So if I go under YouTube, I will see my composer.json file. So this is the definition of my extension. This is the composer definition of my extension, which when I install my extension using composer, it will be moved to the vendor directory. So this is a simple definition. So in the name, so this is my vendor name, this is the description, and this is the extension key, and this is the PSR for namespace. As you can see, we've all defined that inside our maker extension command. So as you can see, it requires the TYPO3 13 version. And yeah, so this is a fast way to simply define our extension. As you can see here, we got classes directory. This is where we will be storing all of our PHP classes with this namespace. And we've got a configuration. So here we'll be storing all of our configuration. So TCA, TypoScript, everything here. As you can see, this services.yaml was created, and it's also configured. So this is simply for the dependency injection and service definition for TYPO3. And yeah, so this is all we need, guys. Let's take a look at my backend. So if I go now to my extensions, so if I go now here, I will see that I have, one second, let's go and filter by local. So as you can see, I have only two custom extensions, and that's the maker extension that we installed, and this is my other extension. But our current extension that we've created is not yet installed. So yeah, we must install that manually, so through composer. So if we go back here and I go take a look at my composer.json under the main project, so under the root directory, I'm loading the packages as a local repository. So it will, when installing packages with Composer, it will also take a look inside this packages directory. So I will go and do something like this. Composer. So now I will give the vendor name. So let's give the vendor name, and that's this one here, and this stability level. So you can define this. This is the minimum stability level. So it is by default def. So always do something like this. So and then when I run this, boom, yeah, it's installed. It is installed, and it creates a symlink to the packages. So it creates a symlink to my directory here. So if we go here and check under YesDev, as you can see, I have two extensions. They have a symlink to my extensions here. So because Composer actually reads the extension from the vendor, so TYPO3 creates like two symlinks to the main extensions. So if we go back here and take a look at our extensions list, you see this is already installed, and we don't need to do anything. It's simply installed. So let's say you want to, let's say for example, you want to load your extension after another extension. Let's say I want to load my extension. Let's say I want to load my front-end extension before my YouTube extension, because let's say I'm overriding things in my YouTube extension from the front-end extension. So you have two ways to do that. So the first way, you would simply go here and say something like this. So I will say require under require. So this is the composer.json file of my YouTube extension. So if I go back here, so this is the composer.json from my YouTube extension. Under the require parameter, I will be require my other extension. So let's say if I want to load my YouTube extension before my front-end extension, so I will be requiring. So TYPO3 knows that it should simply load the front-end extension before the YouTube extension. I can also do another way. So I can also use the suggest. So I can also use this way. So instead of the require, because suggest actually wouldn't throw an error when the front-end extension is not available. So let's say the front-end extension is simply not available. It is not installed on our system. When I try to install the front-end, the YouTube extension right now, it will say it will give us an error. So if we go here, let's say XYZ, let's say I have an extension called XYZ. I go here. So as you can see, it fails because it requires, for example, this extension, and it doesn't exist. But if I move this to the suggest, so let's move this to 1 second. Let's move to the suggest and do install. So as you can see, it is installing now. So the suggest is a good way if we are not sure that the other extension is going to be present. But if it is present, we want it to be loaded before our extension. So we would use the suggest way. So yeah, and that's all you need to know about creating extensions from scratch, guys. One last thing. So if you want, let's say if you want an icon for your extensions, you would simply, 1 second, I will show you. So you will simply, under public icons, create an extension dot svg. This is simply your extension key. So TYPO3 will look into this directory and get your extension key. Yeah, so you can do, let's copy, for example, this extension key. Let's copy it and put it inside our YouTube extension, resources, public icons. So let's test it out, guys. So perfect. Public icons. Let's see if TYPO3. So as you can see, TYPO3 is trying to call our extension SVG. I will do something like this. 1 second. Autoload. So the problem was the assets were not generated. So sometimes you may, when creating a new extension, you may need to do, so when you're creating the resources public folder, you may need to do the composer dump autoload, and it will create your assets for you. So this is for composer based projects. So as you can see here, I've given my extension an icon, and that's really, guys, all you need to know. So simply we have a custom extension that we can pack our configuration and code in. So thank you for watching, guys, and if you have any questions, simply comment them, and I'd love to answer all of your questions, and also give me new videos ideas of what you want to learn next. Bye bye.